Hello, everyone. This is the Abundance Oracle here. Can you see me? Okay, I'm setting up to show you how to make your mind map to plan for next year's goals. There's a couple steps I go through, and the first step is mind map. Second step then is breaking the mind map down into individual sheets of paper with specific to-dos, and after that, I'll have like a resource. Okay, so I'm going to start out and just jump right into it. So this year, I'm going to show you. So this year, I'm going to just cover up some of this here. This is sort of what my mind map looked like this year. In the center, I take a cup and I make a circle around it with whatever color pen you like. I found that sometimes it's more interesting to use color pens to entice you to get into this project of doing this in the first place. Okay, so my target pretty much year after year after year I've discovered is fun and abundance. The fun in the beginning for my children and myself, and now it's basically going to get down to this is my mind map, because my kids now are off and they're they're doing their own mind maps. We've been doing this for so many years and it helps out a lot. Okay, so mine, you're going to get a piece of, I use poster board, and you're going to write whatever your biggest purpose in life is. And mine is having fun and abundance. Last year, the fun was diminutive, and abundance, I put a lot of things in place to get started for this year. All right, so then what we do next is, I'm going to use this piece of paper. We start to make spokes on the wheel. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my black again, and last year I had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 spokes on the wheel. So I'm just going to plan roughly for 6 spokes again. So I go like this. That's 1. I'm going to do it like this. 2, 3. Messy. Don't do it messy like me. You'll be happy when it's nice and neat. 4, 5, 6. For me, you might have 3 spokes. You might have more, 10 spokes. It's all just what you're up to, what stage of life you're in, and what you're looking to do. Okay, so out of these spokes, oh my gosh, excuse me. Out of these spokes, I start putting in, okay, one of them will be for one of my daughters, one will be for my other daughter. Then pretty much typically I'm negligent in working on beauty for myself. I pretty much do more brainiac stuff. So I keep having to remind myself year after year, and they're pretty much the same targets year after year. I'm not strong in that. So, but that's one of my things. And for women, I think, I don't know, it's not necessarily important, but it is important to me. I had a career where I had to do a lot of speaking engagements and look good, and so now I need to get back to that. So this is the 2 daughters, and then I had any particular project that I'm working on. So I've got quite a few companies, and I will have, this will be property projects. Okay, and then what I will do from there to make sure there's enough space and how many properties, how many projects I'm going to have, I'm going to take and make an easy to read thing like that, and connect these up. You can see I'm a little lazy this year, so I shouldn't do it so lazy. And then I'll have however many projects for my properties that I want to make sure I complete. The small projects, will just write the name of the property or the business and have a whole separate paper for that. So I'm going to leave this part here up to you, and you're going to fill out. I'm going to give you some examples of what I did last year that I didn't do a good job on. So some YouTube ideas that I wanted to share with you that I did not get around to taking you there and showing you is there's 3 locations I wanted to show you that I didn't get around to showing you. Then I had a project which was make a certain amount of money on this property, make sure I install a solar panel, make sure I get the painting that I wanted to get done. And I have one that's just for finance. For example, I wanted to make sure I paid off a certain mortgage. I wanted to make sure that there was no debt except for mortgages, which I completed last year, and I only have 2 mortgages left. Also, I wanted to get into a new country club. The country club I was in, it's been 30 years. They invited me to rejoin, but it's a $2 million entrance fee now to restart again, and I thought that was a waste of my money. So I need to find 2 places that I would be willing to consider. Okay, now what I also did is I asked both my girls here, I said, can you please tell me, share with me what your New Year's resolutions are? What are you working on? So I can ask you every once in a while, how are you doing on this and that? So some topics for them were, and this one came all typed up and I printed it out. So one of my girls made it really formal. So one category was knowledge improvements. Another category was physical improvements. She ran a marathon for the first time. She worked out twice a week, stretched. She doesn't stretch enough, and some other things. Okay, then we have world improvements is what she categorized that as. And she said donate to charities financially. Number 2, time and service. And 3, clothing or goods. Okay, the next category, number 4 for her, experiences to have. She wanted to see a particular museum. She wanted to improve her skiing. She wanted to go on outdoor hikes more. And she wanted to learn some embroidery skills. And number 5, the last thing on hers was monetary improvements. So she had 2 things written down there. So it gives you a rough idea as you do it. You can either take, and for example, if this was a printed out piece of paper, you could take and just attach it right there if you wanted to. Or you could write them all out individually. It depends upon how much you have to do. And then over the time, as I look at it pretty much every night or every other night, I start to accumulate things. Like last year, I know I wanted a new bookkeeper and I wanted a tax advisor. So those were things on my list. I finally found a place to find 2 good ones. So I stuck their card on, and starting January 1st, I have my new bookkeeper and tax advisor. So some of these things don't come around to the end of the year, and some of them are in the beginning of the year, and some of things are fully all year long. So like my exercise is all year long. And that I'm going to make, this year I did pretty well, keeping my word on that. And this year I'm going to make a whole separate chart month by month, and I check it off every night before I go to bed. So anyway, once again, this is a mind map, my first rough draft of a My Mind map for the coming new year. So I'd like to invite you to get your magic markers and paper or a poster board or whatever you're going to do, and come alongside this organizing for next year with me. If you haven't done this before, it might take you a little bit of time to figure out your main categories of your life and the projects. I've been doing this now. I've been teaching the class, More Time class. I used to teach way back 30 or 40 years ago. So I've been doing this a long time. Every year it gets easier and easier, and I knew where I faltered, and I knew where I need more work on, where I'm going to say wimped out or change my idea on where I am organizing towards too. So this is not all written in cement. This is to really keep guiding you in the process of reaching your goals. So I invite you to come alongside me as you set this up. And the next one will be when you have your main categories all set up, I'm going to discuss with you how you put your target dates that you want things completed by and work your way backwards. So I currently have a More Time book that I use and have always used. So I start from the end of the year, the results I want, and work my way back quarter by quarter. Then I break it down to month by month, and then I break it down to week, what I need to get accomplished to be able to reach my goal at the end of the year. You wouldn't spring from January 1st to January 2nd, assuming everything's going to be done. No, you spread it out. You understand your time constraints and what you need to get your job done. So, okay, if you have any questions, write down below, and I'll answer them at the beginning of the next annual goal writing process. Love you all. Have a great day, and can't wait to hear some of the things. Oh, maybe you can write down the fun stuff below that you're going to try and go for next year. Love you all. Bye-bye.